Welcome back to ALPB Roundup. I am Ryan, and this is your daily roundup for May 30th, 2021. Unfortunately, Long Island and Lexington were rained out today, so they'll play their second doubleheader of this holiday weekend tomorrow. Like yesterday, let's start our daily roundup with the doubleheader that did take place between yesterday was the Ducks and Lexington. Today, we'll be in York looking at the Revolution playing 2 against the Rockers. Game 1 was a blowout, 11-4. Rockers all over the Revs. It wasn't even that close, by the way. 11-4 is like a gift because York rallied for 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th. Keep in mind, these are just 7-inning games. So right at the last minute, they were like, hey, look at us, we showed up. You didn't show up. We saw what happened here. 6 runs, 6th inning for High Point. That was like all walks, singles, and a sac fly. So like they just went station to station for an entire inning. Really underutilizing the nemesis in left field, but you do you. York's Carlos Franco, he made the most of his start behind the plate today. He actually reached base 3 times, so that's a bit of a highlight in Game 1 for him. Duke Von Schaman had a rough day, first start of the season, took the loss, allowed 5 earned runs in 5 innings, walked 4, struck out 3. But it could have been worse because Bruce Bell relieved him, and he had a nightmare performance in his first pro appearance outside of the Pecos League and the USBL. Some of these guys, they come out of like the Pecos and the USBL, and we're like, this might not go so hot. Sometimes it goes great, sometimes it doesn't, and we're not judging anybody by one appearance. But he allowed 6 earned runs on 3 walks and 3 hits, and he retired 1 guy. A third of an inning, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 hits for Bruce Bell. On the flip side of things for High Point, though, Logan Morrison and Cesar Trejo both had themselves a 2-hit day, as well as a walk for Trejo and 2 RBIs for Logan. So that's quite a good 7-inning day of work. Luke Westall made the start for York in Game 1. He had 4 scoreless innings in his first start of the season, struck out 10, allowed only 2 hits. Great game for him, but Game 1 game ball is going to go to the new guy, James McOwen, who was just signed on Friday by the Rockers. Always signing guys who just contribute right off the bat. Went 3 for 4 with a walk and a double, knocking in 3 runs, scored 3 more. High Point would sweep this doubleheader, but Game 2 required more drama. A Nelly Rodriguez 2-run homer helped York jump out to a 3-0 lead in the first inning. The game actually was 4-1 York after 2, and Rockers starter Ricky Knapp, struggle, managed to right the ship though, pitching 5 innings. You know, after a guy gives up 4 in the first 2, you're like, this guy might not be hanging around very long, especially in a 7-inning game, because things need to move along here. You can't be seeing if he figures out in the 3rd and 4th, but he got it going. He allowed 3 hits and no runs after the 2nd inning. Managed to pitch 5, earned the win. Big thanks on that one to the 5-run 4th inning from the Rockers. Rockers had 2 big innings, one in Game 1 for 6 runs, one in Game 2 for 5, and that basically got it going for them the rest of the day. Rockers would go on to win this one 6-4. Game ball goes to the subject of a wild story, by the way. Preston, don't call it a comeback Gainey. If you follow me on social media, you know I've been hyping this dude up, giving him all the love. He deserves it. Drafted in 2012. Follow this. 2012, drafted in the 11th round by the Brewers out of the Naval Academy. He gets a slow start in his first 3 years, like an 8-something ERA, then a 5-something ERA, then a 4-something ERA. So it's getting better. 2015, he posts a 2.19 ERA in High A. Looks great. 2016 and 2017, he was flat out unhittable. Posted a .71 ERA between High A and Double A. But unfortunately, he missed most of those seasons with what was listed as back injuries. Getting ready for the 2018 campaign, now people see what he can be. During spring training, hurts his elbow, he ends up needing Tommy John. A year and a half later, about 15 months I think it was, he'd need a second Tommy John surgery. Absolute nightmare for the guy. 1 TJ in 2018, 1 TJ in 2019, can't pitch in 2020. Here he is, comes out of the pen today for High Point. 1 inning, surrendered a leadoff walk to start things. You start to sweat a little bit. Settles it in, gets the next 3 guys, including a strikeout to end the inning. It's great to see. That's a family effort. That kind of thing. These guys aren't making a ton of money. He's an 11th round draft pick. That is a family effort coming around the guy so he can still pursue that dream. And let's hope he can continue to pursue his major league dream. He gets the game ball for this game, Game 2. Again, Rockers sweep the doubleheader, but I think Preston Gainey is the cool story of the day. Speaking of big news, Gastonia has their first franchise win. Came back in the late innings of this one to tie Lancaster in the bottom of the 9th, and in the 10th they would walk it off on a Mike Pappy single. Ladarius Clark homered for the 2nd time this season for the Barnstormers, and Devin Torrance went 3 for 4. Devin Torrance, by the way, is now 4 for 6. I know it's early in the season, small sample. but it's like a 770 something on base percentage all of a sudden. So he's off to a good start this year. That's what you like to see. The game ball for this fourth and final game of the Lancaster Gastonia series goes to Josh Sale, whose comeback story I've already referenced before. He went 0 for 6 to start the season here, trying to bounce back his first professional season in like 5 or 6 years. Today he goes 3 for 4 with a double. It's good to see him finding some success. He seems to attack early when he gets up there. I've seen him swing early in counts a couple times. He was running all over the base paths on, Thursday night. He was just out there causing chaos today. Played really well. Now, this game was not without controversy, which I'm going to discuss in our series roundup on Tuesday, because I like to keep these videos going quick. But some RoboZone issues. I caught some RoboZone issues on Thursday when I was in Gastonia. A couple ones where like that ain't right, and like not like early they were working it out. Like in 2019, there was a few issues that they seemed to work out as they go. These were pretty egregious on Thursday, and there's some egregious ones that might have cost the game for Lancaster today. We're going to pick that apart a little bit. We'll discuss a few other things regarding that and things that can come up with the RoboZone, things we've learned, and things that we're still learning. The West Virginia Power took their second straight from the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Brandon Barker's solid start and Kent Blackstone's 9th inning homer just were not enough as Southern Maryland falls 4-2. On the West Virginia side, Ruby Silva homers off his former team, and Jose Tabata, who was signed to last week, another guy signing the contract and making a difference. Tabata's already posted a 1.667 OPS this opening weekend, so he's just slapping the ball around, getting it done. Power benefited from a great start from Eli Villanueva. Oh, I was so worried about nailing the Eli pronunciation. I messed up Villanueva. He went 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. It was not earned, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. It's great to see that from Villanueva, who had a really difficult 2020 season pitching in China, where he had been very good in 2019. That's a killer, man. You go over there, he had a rough year in 2018, pitched great in 2019. He had it figured out and fell apart again in 2020. So maybe he's back on track again here. Tomorrow, we'll be discussing 4 more games. Lexington and Long Island get back together for another doubleheader. Southern Maryland tries to stop their 2-game skid against West Virginia. And York will be trying to bounce back after getting swept in today's doubleheader by High Point. Next time you hear from me, it's not going to be a daily roundup. It'll be that series roundup that I mentioned earlier. That will be posted on Tuesday afternoon. Series roundups are going to be a little bit different. They're longer videos. Are going to recap all of the weekend's action, transactions, projections. What did we learn from the past 2 games? What are we about to learn from the next few games? League news, things like the RoboZone that I mentioned earlier. We can talk about that stuff. A little more info, not just focused on the games, but everything going on around the games. So you have that to look forward to. Series roundup coming on Tuesday afternoon. But until then, I am Ryan. Make the most of your Monday with family and baseball. I will see you on Tuesday.